So things have been ticking along pretty nicely since you were last with me. Of course, in the last episode, we did win the Carabao Cup against Arsenal. First trophy in the bag. We've got quite a lot of games coming up. Not a lot has happened since you were last with me. However, of course, we've just played a handful of games, but we have left ourselves in a very good position in the Champions League. Just to catch you up, of course, we played that AC Milan game where we went through to the last 16. So far, beat Wolfsburg away from home. We've got the second leg to come. Sorry, beat Wolfsburg at home. We've got the second leg away from home to come this episode. And we're also going to come back for that Arsenal game in the Premier League. Fingers crossed, we've also got a youth intake to show you this episode. So we'll kind of see how that goes. We will have a look at the preview in a second, but I just want to run you through what's happened. Of course, we beat Tottenham in the FA Cup fifth round, which means we've got a quarter-final against Luton. And yeah, games are coming thick and fast. But this is the episode. We're going to concentrate on the Wolfsburg game. Hopefully see who we've got in the quarterfinals. Touch wood we get through. And we're going to play Arsenal as well. But in the meantime, I do just want to have a look at the intake preview to show you that it is meant to be pretty dire once again. However, we've got a keeper who is graded A. So that could be a bonus. We are still sort of crying out for a keeper ever so slightly. But again, another absolutely awful intake, and things just aren't going well with the youth intakes, and hopefully we'll get a better look at that sort of mid-episode. But should we just get into this second leg and hopefully get through to the quarterfinal for the first time in God knows how many years? So here we go, lineup for the Wolfsburg game. We've got Carrot in goal, Trent, Pinnington, Badgetic and Robertson are the back four. The midfield, we've got King, Sobersley and Gravenberch, and then up front, we've got Tornyanen, Stone and Doak. So here we go, we kick off, and of course love the fact that we're 2-1 up on aggregate. However, I would much rather play the second leg at home at Anfield. And fingers crossed we haven't, the fingers crossed they don't get an early goal and we kind of make it hard for ourselves. That is probably plan A. Plan B is to score a couple of extra goals and just take the pressure off. So we'll see how things go. But hopefully, I'm hoping if we get through this, touch wood. I'm just looking there. Nice have got a 2-goal lead against Chelsea. I don't know how that sort of affects the aggregate score there. But I was going to say, hopefully, if we do get through to the quarterfinals, we're not actually going to be playing, for the first time in a couple of years, a Premier League team, because I just don't like it. I think if you're going to play European football, you want to play the European... that's not a good start, is it? You want to be playing the European giants, but that is not a good start. 2-2 on aggregate, just like that, within 15 minutes, Wolfsburg are back on level terms on aggregate, and yeah, that's exactly the start we didn't want. I think we'll give a bit of encouragement, but there's still time. We obviously need to score because we don't want this to go to penalties. That'll be a long, hard slog if this goes to penalties. So plenty of time to score. And we generally seem to grow into games. Very rarely, I say very rarely, do we play important games and lead from the get-go. We kind of always make it a hard start for ourselves. And then we like to come back. So still all to play for. I think it looks like we're going to go to half-time without any sort of highlight. I think that's pretty much it. I know it's not, of course, as soon as you say that. There's a highlight, of course there is. I'm just hoping it's for us. I don't want to see Wolfsburg scoring just before half-time and really making it difficult for us. It seems to be, so far they've dominated the game. They've had the highlights. They've had the key moments. They've got the goal. So we need to somehow break that, and winning the ball back would be lovely, a lovely start, and actually getting an attack worth shouting about. But Wolfsburg are playing the ball around really nicely, fortunately. And this does not look good, does it? Trent, lovely interception there. Plays it to Doak. Is this the counter-attack that we wanted? Sobersley plays it to Tornyanen. Can he cut inside? He does. He plays it back to King. Oh, and there we go. Mark King, best player in the club, of course, curls it in just from inside of the box. Back on level terms, 3-2 up on aggregate. And yeah, he's definitely going to be the player to build my team around. for the foreseeable future. So Mark King with the equaliser there. We are 3-2 up on aggregate, sorry. Half-time comes. And things are looking a lot more rosy all of a sudden. I think we're going to get to say we're not happy. Purely for the fact it gives them a bit more encouragement, it seems. So there we go. And I'm already looking at sort of subs. Because the thing is, I'm getting a bit worried about... we'll probably... Well, let me start again. If we get through this, we add another 2 games to our schedule. Obviously, the first and second leg of the quarterfinals. If we win the FA Cup against Luton, we add another game to our schedule. That's 3 games added to our schedule. We're already 4 or 5 games. I think we're just going to take Doak off and put Salah on. But I'll just sort of talk over this as we go. But yeah, we're already 4 or 5 games down in the Premier League. And I just don't know how we're going to cram all of those games in. It's making me wonder if we're going to be playing stupid fixtures like on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. I'm sort of already conscious of who we bring off and trying to save the legs and bring off the key players like Soberslife, for example. And but so far, back to this match, 1-1. We are leading on aggregate. Is this a chance for 2? Is that a penalty? I think it is. Or are we checking? Mo Salah has literally just come on the pitch, so thank God he's on to take the penalties if it's given. And it is given, thank God. This could be our chance to pretty much seal our path to the quarterfinals, and we can sort of relax a little bit more then. And Mo Salah sends the keeper the wrong way, of course he does. We're 2-1 up on the night, 4-2 on aggregate, and surely that is the game put beyond doubt there. We don't need to see a penalty, of course, but all in all, I think it's probably been quite a level game, so maybe we've got a little bit of luck there, but I'm happy to bring on Parsley for Gravenberch. Like I said, saving the legs, we're 2-1 up, 4-2 on aggregate. I can't see them scoring 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. Famous last words, but yeah, I can't see it happening. Still seeing Nice winning 3-0 there. I wonder if they're knocking Chelsea out. It would be quite nice to see Chelsea. It would be nice to see Chelsea go out. However, they are leaders of the Premier League, so it almost gives them the advantage in the Premier League race. But nevertheless, in at 4-0 there. But nevertheless, we are through. And that's it. Yeah, there we go. We are through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Of course, we add another 2 games to our schedule, but at the same time, who wouldn't want to be in the Champions League quarterfinals? So, always good to see. Hopefully, in the next frame, I'm going to be able to show you the youth intake, or at least something to shout about. So I did promise you a look at the youth intake, and I kind of wish I hadn't now. Below average was the preview. Poor is the outcome. Do you know what, guys? I don't think I've ever had a youth intake this bad. Our best player, Rushawn Jones-Griffiths, which is a complete mouthful to try and say. 3.5 star potential ability. I can't find a positive. I really can't. Apparently, he's a standout player, one of the best from this year's intake. It's not hard, is it, to be one of the best? Let's just take a quick look at him. Centre-back, naturally, can play as a right-back. Mentally, he's probably determination, looks good, bravery, anticipation, leadership. Probably a good low-level centre-back, potentially in the future. I'm sure he is, probably a Premier League potential player, but it just looks awful. Let's just have a quick look at the rest. Again, another centre-back, can play right back as well. Nothing to shout about. Greg Davis here. Apparently he can play everywhere. His attributes say otherwise. Let's just say that. Lewis, we're not even going to attempt that. Centre-back, right-back, again, doesn't look to be anything special. And lastly, hopefully another centre-back. No, we've got an attacking midfielder, apparently. He doesn't sort of look like he should be one, if I'm really honest. He looks pretty poor. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys ever had a intake as poor as that. The fact that we've got a good head of youth development in place. We've also got fantastic facilities, whether it's training, academy, junior coaching, is all top notch. So I think we're just kind of slowly running out of luck, possibly. But on top of that, I do want to mention, I was promised, I use the term promise lightly, but I was told in the preview that I'd have an A grade goalkeeper, and I cannot see a goalkeeper whatsoever. So, kind of sucks. But anyway, we'll move on swiftly from the youth intake because that was shocking. We beat Luton in the FA Cup quarter-final off camera. We got a couple more to play off camera as well. But as you can see, we put out a semi kind of rotational developmental team and did really well. We won 5-0. So that's all good. Got to play Luton and West Ham, of course, off camera. But one thing I do just want to quickly point out as well, we obviously went through the quarter-final of the FA Cup. We've got Man United there in the semi-final. We've also got the Champions League quarter-final legs, 1 and 2. We don't know who we're playing yet. But look at April. How this is going to... we've got Aston Villa on the Tuesday. Obviously, that's on the Tuesday, which means they'll move the Aston Villa game. And they'll probably move the Man City game as well. I don't know where they're all going to fit in. I really don't. So that will be really interesting to see probably by the end of this episode, because I'm hoping the next thing you guys see is the Champions League quarter-final draw. So here we go. The Champions League draw is upon us. I definitely would not like Arsenal, is probably the best thing to say, because they're an English team. Porto would have been quite nice. Arsenal, please don't be us. Oh, and they get Real Madrid. That's nice. I'm so glad that's not us. Nice now. And we're playing Nice again. I feel like we've played them a couple of times now. It could have been worse, but Nice have just beat Chelsea 4-0, so I don't know how that looks for us. Let's just look at the previous meetings. And yeah, you'll see we've played them twice. Excuse me. We've played them twice and we've actually never beat them. So it's probably going to be a lot harder than we think. But anyway, that's enough of the Champions League for now. We're going to play the Arsenal game and hopefully get a couple of points and actually start making a bit of an indent into Chelsea's league. So here we go, away to Arsenal, and this is the lineup we've gone with. We've got Alisson in goal, Trent, Pennington, Konate and Beck, and make up the back four. We've got midfield of King, Elliott and Gravenberch. And then the front three, we've got Tornion and Salah playing behind Stone. So here we go, Arsenal away from home. And of course, we've gone with a little bit more of a cautious mentality. I do generally like to play that away from home against the big teams more so. You see there, we've kind of closed the gap in the sense we're 4 games behind Arsenal, 2 games behind Chelsea. I can only see that gap getting bigger. I don't know how we're going to squeeze so many games in and keep everyone fresh. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But again, that's probably something to worry about for next episode. So we'll save that for the next time. And this is not a good start. Plays the ball easily to Saka. And Gabriel Jesus there getting a goal. Is it offside? Didn't look it. I wouldn't have complained if that had sort of counted without the VAR. So let's take a look. And really surprised that was offside. Let's take a look, because that must have been really close. And you know what? Actually, it wasn't that close in the end. I think I was just probably not even taking that much notice. But nice to see a complete let off there for, I think it might have been Gravenberch that played that absolute dire pass back there. So we are still on level terms. We could do with a win. It would get us on to 61 points. Arsenal would be on 69. We would be, quick maths, 8 points behind Arsenal with 4 games in hand, which would be very nice. But of course, we've got a long way to go to already be counting the 3 points. I think we need to at least look like we're scoring first before we even think about winning the game. Because so far, it seems to be all Arsenal. Mo Salah there winning the ball back, but then getting absolutely clattered. Owen Beck winning the ball only as far as Saka, who completely turns him with speed. This doesn't look good. Tornion in there with a tackle, but Saka still manages to get the ball back. Odegaard now, this is not what we like to see. Zinchenko from afar, posting in. I mean, that was a good goal, wasn't it? That was a good football play there and a good goal to finish. But yeah, don't want to see that. No, thank you. As much as it was a good goal, pains me to say it. And we find ourselves 1-0 down. Yeah, not a good start. I think if we get to half-time, 1-0 would be good. Regroup and take it from there. Sounds like a plan. I'm just thinking maybe we'll have to go with more of an attacking approach in the second half of the game. We've not really had... Saying that, we've restricted Arsenal to just the one goal. Obviously, let's forget about the Jesus goal because it didn't count. So apart from that, they've only had 3 shots, 1 on target. They're not actually that much better than us. So I'm just thinking maybe... Well, let's just see this a second. And maybe we sort of try and get some fresh legs on. Or maybe let's not see this. Oof, that was pretty lucky. That could have bounced, could have gone anywhere there. Alisson to come away with the ball. I think we're carrying on with the highlights, so we are not done. I'd just like to see us get the ball, and we do. Mo Salah with the ball. Can we make something of this? Owen Beck, I was going to call him Ben Doak then, but Owen Beck with the ball, plays it back to Konate, and we just sort of sitting in just inside the Arsenal half with the ball, playing it nicely. Martinelli there nearly gets the ball back off Trent, but Trent plays it to Elliott, plays it to Gravenberch on the edge of the box in plenty of space. King with the header, and that was so cruel, that come back off the post, and that could have landed to anyone. Unfortunately, landed at an Arsenal player's feet. Gravenberch doesn't look like we're done yet though. King plays it back to Beck. I mean, yeah, we are done. Forget what I said. Oh, a bit of encouragement, and I think, Salah's had a bad game. Torniana's had a quiet game. So Stone. It's just, yeah, not really got the firepower on the bench to come on and change the game like that. And it's all about game sort of fitness management as well, isn't it? Considering, like I said, we are really struggling with, well, we will be struggling with fitness in the next couple of weeks and probably the next episode. But I think Trent can come off, put on Bradley there. Konate can come off for Bajcetic, I think. And I'm just thinking, I think what we'll do is go attacking. Yeah, attacking, demand more. I think we need to. Oh, this is so frustrating to see Arsenal go on top of the league. We've got some really huge games coming up against Man United, Man City in the Premier League. I think they're our last big games. I think we might have Tottenham to play as well. So I think everything is still in our hands. I'm not too sure. And we could have conceded there and that would have been game over. But Alisson looks to come out with the ball again. This could mean we could hit Arsenal on the counter-attack, or they get the ball back and go towards our goal again. I don't think they will. Bradley wins the ball to Doak, tries to play it forward to Stone, but nothing comes of it. And Arsenal again have the ball. Oh, oh my God, that was such a lucky goal for us. I'm happy to take it. Oh, I'd be livid if that was our player that did that. I just want to see that again. Ramsdale plays it out. I mean, look at that. Torniana, though, fair play to Torniana, being in the right place at the right time. And like that, it's 1-1, and we have been so lucky with that goal. But they all count, don't they? They do all count, regardless of how they're scored. If we can go forward and get a winner now, we'd be lucky as anything is probably the best way to say it. But we still need to worry about defending. Oh, and Arsenal have just somehow put that wide there. On another day, that would have been finished into the bottom corner and we'd be 2-1 down. So we've been hugely let off this game. But away from home against Arsenal, you'd like to think we'll probably just take it. If the referee can blow his whistle now, it would be brilliant without another highlight, and he does. There we go. We've somehow come away with a 1-1 against Arsenal, at Arsenal. Doesn't really do much for us in terms of Premier League position. and we don't close the gap that much, but we didn't lose. We still got a point, and with so many games in hand, they all do count. So, of course, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode where we're going to hopefully work out how to manage such a crazy schedule.